welcome back to I Am Sent. And on set with us is Latoya, and she's been giving us her story as how she grew up and where God has taken her in life. So Latoya, you were telling us about that point with your friends and, them being there for you, and they were not the type of friends that kind of led you astray. I mean, what kind of friends were they truly? I mean, could you have called on them at any time?
Yes.
Could you have... Go ahead,
Yes,
you tell us.
I could have called on them at any time. Any kind of problem, any kind of situation I go in my life, I know I could call on them. You understand? They wouldn't question why and this. You understand? They would move. You understand? Because the point in time when I was sick and I said that I was fainting back to back, one of my friends I reached out to, and he was the one who reached out to my parents and saying there's something going on with Toya. Go and check on her. Go and see what's happening and something like. So they are not the type of friends that will lead you astray. Probably maybe to lead you on to go and drink something in the bar. But
well, of course, they consider that to be fun,
But otherwise, they seek the best interest. Again, they respect my decision on my walk, and that is all that really matters.
I want to go to a bit of... You stated that your friend called you on your parents or so on. Tell us a little bit about home, in growing up. How was it for you? Was it very pleasant? Was there any issues that you had, that kind of thing?
Home has its challenges.
Well, I guess
any home has its challenges.
Yeah.
But I can say that if things could have been done differently, yes, I would have things to be done differently. But I know for sure that with my children, I will do things differently from how I was brought up. Right? So I try to teach my children different things that I wasn't taught growing up. You understand? I got love, but not the amount of love I probably would have preferred.
Right.
So I give my children a lot of love, affection, time that I didn't really get growing up.
Right.
So I just choose to do it differently. So.
And how do your children receive that now?
They're spoiled. They're spoiled bad.
Well, I guess that will happen in a case like that, but then you also have the opportunity to show them what is right from what is wrong and so on.
Yes.
And I guess, and not only guess, but those are your 3 kids at this present time. And that is indeed important for us to have and to understand that, family is extremely important in whatever you're doing, and tell us about a little bit more. You don't have to go into too much details, but tell us how do your family operate and, that love that you give to them,
With my kids, well, that is my little family. Anybody else is extended, right? But they appreciate the little time that we spend together. If we decide to do a little movie night, we all sit, we pop our popcorn, or even just last night, we sit down and had dinner all together, and you understand, there's and my littlest one, she's like, Mommy, we're eating as a family.
Wow, that's nice.
Right.
That's nice.
So those things I really love, and I would have loved that with my parents, my siblings and stuff, but I am happy that I am able to do it with my little Brady bunch.
Well, of course, the way that things were done before in many families, they would have had some things like that. But it's good to hear what you're saying because, that really makes a lot of sense, But outside of just the home, do you all do anything specific?
Yeah, we will go out. Right? It may not be extravagant type of go, but we'll go out, we'll spend time, we'll go get ice cream and stuff and things like that. So I try to have that kind of bond with them and would like to continue to have that type of bond with them, that even though when they get old enough and they might not want mommy no more, that they could still, come to mommy and talk to mommy, or as I say, I would love them to live with me, and they would be like, yes, mommy, I will live with you,
Right.
And grandparents be like, nah, when they get older, you don't have time. You don't have time with your mother. But, I would like that. I would like something like that. My children can live close, you understand, have their family, so I can have my grandchildren, you understand. I just want that closeness, and I want to instill that on them. So when they have their children will have the same type of,
Well, I'll tell you one thing. You are definitely on the right track because the Word of God tells us that if you train up a child the way that he should go, when he gets old, he will not depart from it. So you're on the right track already. Just you continue with that prayer and development and so on, and that is a good thing so far. I want to just go now into, you have moved now from where you were with your friends, you were liming, you were drinking, you were having all the fun in the world. But now you have now dedicated your life to the one and only Jesus Christ. Give us an insight as to how that transition was and how you moved from there, and what is it like today? But give us a transition. We get to those others as we go.
It hasn't, and it is not easy because we face temptation every single day. It's temptation, even if it's just by the thinking. Right? But me, as I started out, because I still learning, but I just get plenty conviction. You get plenty conviction, but I know the conviction is to keep you on the right track.
That's right.
Right? So, for example, one of the convictions is that at other time, you're going to work and somebody's like, you can spare me some change or something, and it's like, no, you're like, no, and you just pass that person going, and the conviction started hit you. Give the person the money. I was like, no, you're fighting with this conviction. It's like, no, but I only have $20 and they don't want to, And like, go and give this person the money. So now you had to turn back now after they don't walk far faster, you turn back around now to give this person, and you say, have a blessed day. You give them that money, and then you hear this little voice saying, how you feel? Like, you're grumbling to yourself because it's $20. You understand?
Yes.
But in life, to me, right, I know I get closer to God because I see those convictions, and I know it's just like, when they start to get them, it's like, all right, you ain't start to fight no more, you ain't fighting no more, you're just like, all right, yes, all right, Father, I will do it. You understand? But, trying to do my best, the best way I can, and at the end of the day, God knows my heart.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
But your daily walk with Him,
Right.
what would you say that is?
My daily walk is, I get up in the morning, thank Him for getting up on, waking me up for the day, cover my children, get them ready for school, cover them, pray with them, send them off, right? When they come home, help them out with whatever work, so on and stuff. And I do in the night have little prayer sessions with them to hear where their prayer life is like, and they surprise me sometimes, you understand? They surprise me sometimes on what they say. Right? And then most of the time, if not with them, I just have my little alone time, and I will read, and I like to do praise and worship until it's time for me to clock out for the night to begin the next day, and I just do it all over.
Very good. And I mean, that's so important, that walk with Him, because, the Word of God again tells us that any man that must come after Christ, he must deny himself and follow. He must take up his cross and follow Him. And I mean, I understand that it's not an easy thing. And the fact that you are sharing, your experience, your walk with Him, the fact that you are taking the time to state exactly how your children actually surprise you and so on. Is it a case where they would normally hear you praying also?
Yes.
So they hear you pray? Yeah,
because most of the time, even though I don't have prayer session with them, sometimes they'll be in the room when I read it and I pray.
Right.
You understand?
So they're literally hearing that.
Correct.
And again, that's part of their training, and it's good to know that you're going into that. But I'd like us to just, from your perspective as someone who is a believer, what advice would you give to the unbeliever or to someone who is a believer as well, in terms of that walk with Christ or that transition, whichever, how would you deal with it?
My advice is, it is never too late. God is there. Just start. Start. Reach out to Him. Pray. You understand? He's there. He's listening. He's watching. You understand? He's just waiting for you to come to Him. You understand? It may not happen now. You may not feel it now. But once you continue and be consistent, you will start to see the things that He has done for me, because I have peace. I might not have riches, or how some people might want to say, you know, you're not rich, but I'm rich in faith,
Amen.
I'm rich in peace, I'm rich in happiness, because sometimes you see things going wrong, and I smile at me, understand?
Yes.
People like, why are you smiling at it blowing up, then fire? No, because I leave it in God's hands. He will deal with that. You understand? So why stress over something that you can't control? You understand? So you just leave it in God's hands. Sometimes you just things just happen, just like, you know. So I just say, just pray, talk to him. He waiting on you. He just come as you are. You don't have to change anything. Just come as you are.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is indeed a good point to give to someone, because many times people also think that, you know, you're making a statement early on that many times people consider themselves to be unworthy.
Right.
Right? It's like they wonder, I've done so much wrong, I've done this. I mean, in your eyes, I guess it's clear.
We all done wrong in our life. We all done wrong. And you know what have people, they say that how your wrong is bigger than mine. No, it have no big, it have no small. Everybody done wrong. Just come to him. Ask for forgiveness. You understand? If the murderer who was on the cross can be forgiven, you can be forgiven. Just come to him. You
And that's
understand?
a really good, valid point there, you know, a debt.
Yes.
Because Christ was dying between two thieves. One of them stated, listen, remember me. And that was all he said. He didn't say, Lord, forgive me. He didn't say anything. He said, remember me. And then the other one said, you are Christ. Why don't you save yourself and bring us down with you? You know, and he could have done that.
He could have done it.
Yeah. But
Right?
that's a really good point. I really appreciate that. That's very good. And so, well, we want to just say a big thank you so much, Latoya, for taking the time and sharing your story. And we know it's not just about sharing your story because, you know, you want what you have been through to be out there.
Yeah.
But we understand that by sharing your story, you can empower someone else. You can help someone else. I myself, after hearing a testimony, received a miracle, and I'm so grateful and thankful to God for that, you know. So thank you so much for joining us on the program today.
Thank you
And
for
we
being
certainly
here.
appreciate having you. Don't go away, because when we return, we take you for the ministry of the word.